Hey, welcome to Exhibitor Lounge, sponsored by ExhibitEdge.com. I'm your host and your trade show mixologist, Michael Gray. Here each week you receive simple, practical, and proven tips to improve your trade show marketing strategy, maximize your budget, and get better results. Well, last week we talked about the three different types of programs inside ExhibitForce, the online management system that most display houses use. Well, this week I want to specifically take a look at the asset management program because that's the one that most display houses use to interact between the display house and the exhibit manager or the exhibitor themselves. So let's take a look at the asset management program and how, I guess you would call it a flow summary as to how it works between you, the client, and us, the display house. Well, the first thing that happens is a display house like Exhibit Edge will enter photos and inventory data into the system. Okay? So when we receive an exhibit or we build an exhibit or we create a new item or we order a new product for you, we have a studio here that we actually photograph the item and then it can be placed into the system. And here at Exhibit Edge we also go a step further and we put in an item number. So there's actually a good checks and balances. You get the photo to check it to make sure it's the right one and you get an item number. Okay, so now once all the data and photos are in the system for your assets or exhibit properties, now we're ready to manage your events. So the first thing, number one, is you would log in to your personal site. And in this case, you would get a personal user ID and a password. It's not company-wide because you can have different levels of access. So you would put in your own user ID and your own password. Okay? Once you do that, number two, you enter your event data. Well, or you give it to us and we will do it for you. So once you enter your event data, number three, you would go in and select the different assets or exhibits, graphics, giveaways, that kind of stuff that you would want. And then number four, you would add them to that specific event. Okay? Now, number five, you would review, and then once you reviewed it and made sure everything was there and all the event information you wanted to put in was there, or have us do it, you would submit it after you review it and send it to your display house. Now that ends the ability to add anything into the system anymore because it goes through what we call a process of submitting and then finalization. But let me get to number six. Number six is the display house will use the data to create system work orders, complete with photos of your inventory that you want for that show. Now these work orders, which we would print out and we would use as an operational checklist, would be to verify that the exhibit was pulled correctly before the shipment went out. So that's kind of a good flow as to how you would use the system. And I think at the end we'll show you a pretty good flow summary on a chart to kind of back up the 6 steps that I was just talking about. Well, as always, please respond with your questions or comments and let others know about ExhibitorLounge.com. Hey, we'll see you next week. Until then, I'm your host, Michael Gray, telling you, relax in the Exhibitor Lounge.